Hello everyone, welcome to our YouTube channel Spectrum. In this channel, we will upload educational videos which will help you in your exam and interview preparation conducted by various research institutes in India. We are the students of Ramakrishna Mission Residential College, Narendrapur of Department of Physics. In this video, one of my friend Nilachal Chakraborty is going to share his interview experience of TIFR Hyderabad. Before start the video, please subscribe our YouTube channel. That will encourage us to make such type of videos. So let's start.
So today I will share my interview experience in TIFR Hyderabad. So let's start. You can see my screen. I will start slideshow. Okay, so first of all, tell about TIFR Hyderabad. TIFR Hyderabad is an sister university or institute of TIFR Bombay. It is a comparatively new institute compared to TIFR Bombay. This year TIFR Hyderabad calls up to 100 rank in JEST, and they also select student via GS. But my interview was through JEST, so I will share my interview experience. So let's start. First of all, they tell me to ask for a short introduction and the topics you like. And in the introduction part, they have asked me from where I have done my BSc, I have done any BSc project or not, and this. And for the topics, then they asked what topic I have read in my BSc and what topics I like. For the topics I like, I have told that I like math, physics, quantum mechanics, electrodynamics, classical mechanics. This is so first they start with electrodynamics. So first question was state four properties of metal. So I have first state the four properties of metals, that the charge inside the metal is zero, electric field inside the metal is zero, then the uh, surface of the metal is an equipotential surface, and electric field is always perpendicular to um, the surface. Then they state me to prove electric field vector is perpendicular. You have then they told that you have uh, told that electric field vector is perpendicular to the metal surface. How do you prove it? Then I prove that work done is zero because the potential is because the surface is equipotential. Then I write dw is equals to f dot dl and write f equal to q times electric field vector. So E dot dl equal to 0. From this you can see that the angle between them is pi by 2 or 90 degree. Okay, fine. Then they said me that derive relation between electrical susceptibility for metals, and first they asked me to write the differential equation to solve, and they told that assume there is a damping force but there is no restoring force since they are free electrons, and from this derive the relative permeability of electrons. So let's see what I have done. So I have done in my Microsoft Whiteboard, and here I have attached the image. So first of all, write the differential equation, that is d2x by dt square plus gamma times dx dt is equals to f naught e to the power j omega t. So this is a kind of force oscillation. With the part the restoring force is not here because uh, they are free electron, so there is no restoring force. Then just solve it, writing xt equal to trial solution xt equal to e to the power j omega t. From this you can find a, and then you can find xt. So then write first the dipole moment as q times xt, and assume that there are in n number of electrons in unit volume, and you can write the uh, polarization p is equals to n times q times xt. And then just after writing the equation, just write p equal to pr plus j pi, means break it into real part and imaginary part and compare it with PR is equals to epsilon naught xi into E vector and write E vector as E naught cos omega t. So from this you can find the relation between the susceptibility of electrons, and from this you can easily calculate the uh, epsilon r, the relative permeability also. It was, it taken me a long time, 10 times 10 minutes or 15 minutes to derive, but they helped me. And they always asking the steps, what steps I am doing. Okay, so this part was fine. Then they go to the next part. Oh, so next questions come from math physics. So they have told me a matrix just like that. The first row is minus a x naught minus a x 0, second row is minus x 0 minus x, and the third row is 0 x a. And they told me that if the eigenvalues of the matrix are lambda 1, lambda 2 and lambda 2 means two of the eigenvalues are equal, then find the relation between x a and lambda 1. So it is quite an easy question, but the calculation was a bit long. First of all, you have to just use the relation that uh, trace of the matrix is the sum of the eigenvalues and determinant of the matrix is the product of the eigenvalue. So I have just done that, and after a bit of calculation, you can just uh, compared the relation, and you can eliminate lambda 2, and you can find a relation between x a and lambda 1. But they told me how I calculate and the last relation. Then they told me that just find the eigenvalues of the matrix from the characteristic equation, means determinant of m minus lambda I, where I is the identity matrix, is 0. So from then I also calculate the eigenvalues. Then they told that from this, can you say that if two of the eigenvalues are equal, then what could be the relation? So I was deriving the relation, and they stopped me and told that yes, yes, you are in the right path. Then so the math physics part was done here by this question, and they go to the next question. So let's see what was the next question. So the next question was from the quantum mechanics part. um, First of all, they told me that there is a potential which is Vx equals to sec hyperbolic x square, and they told me to put sec hyperbolic x square. So to plot the graph of the sec hyperbolic square x. So I put the sorry, I plot the graph sec hyperbolic square x. You can I have attached the screenshot from Desmos, so you can see if x tending to 0, then sec hyperbolic square x will tend to 1, and this is the maximum value. And when x tending to infinity, plus infinity or minus infinity, it will go to 0. So I have plot the graph. Then they asked that if we flip just minus sec hyperbolic x square, then what could be the graph? So I told that just at x equal to 0 it is minus 1, and for plus infinity or minus infinity it will also goes to 0. So then they go to the next question. That the question was from hydrogen atom problem, that plot the wave function for the first excited state for the hydrogen atom, and also plot the radial probability density for the density function. So the first excited state is the 2s state. Here I have attached the graph of the wave function and also the radial probability density for the 2s state. It is the first excited state. And also I have wrote here the what is the r20, the radial r state, that is a constant time, um, 1 minus r by 2 a naught into e to the power minus a constant r by 2 a naught. So but I have did a mistake here. Here is the story. I have did a mistake here. I have written that 1 minus, that part was missing. I was writing the equation as constant time r by twice a naught into e to the power minus r by twice a naught. So they told me just plot the wave function, so I have plot that wave function. And also they told me that now plot the radial probability density. And when I was plotting the radial probability density, they just asked me the formula for radial probability density, and why the r square term is there. So I have told that the r square term is coming from the volume element. And also plot the radial probability density part accordingly. Then they told me that you have did a mistake. And why that is that was a mistake. They are saying that for the fast excite, how can we identify the excited state? For fast excited state, there should be a node, but in my plot there was no node. So then they asked me that, can you say that what was your mistake? So I have told, yes, the wave function should be 1 minus r by twice a naught, and times e to the power minus r by twice a naught. And then I plot the wave function. And first I have plot the wave function according to this. And then they uh, told me to plot the radial probability density, but I was taking time sometime, so they just left and go to the next part. And this part, this plotting part takes again 10 to 15 minutes. Okay, so now come to the last part. They just asked me that, did you read solid state physics? I have told that I have read solid state physics in my last semester. So first they asked me, did you know about Fermi energy? So I have told that yes, I have know about Fermi energy. And can you define Fermi energy? That, but for that part, I was just writing the Fermi energy equation. So um but I can't remember the proper definition of the Fermi energy. So they told that it is fine. And they just asked me the question that how resistivity of the metal changes with temperature. So I have told the resistivity of the metal changes with temperature according to the formula that A plus BT plus CT squared. So they asked me that what is the reason behind this. So I have told that there are free electrons, and when temperature increases, the there are more number of collision, and there are more number of collisions, so the resistivity increases. Then they asked me how the collision takes place. So I have told the collision takes place between the lattice atom and the free electrons. And then they were done. And they were told me that, yes, your interview has ended. If you have any question, you can ask. So I have not asked any question. And so it was my story of that interview. The interview was very long. It was about 45 to 50 minutes. So thank you for watching this video, and best of luck for your interviews and examination also. I was not selected in the interview. Neither I was main list or in the short list. They have selected seven people, five or seven people. Um, okay, so let stop the screen share. But I have to told that I was satisfied by this interview. I performed good in the interview, and I was satisfied with the interview.